have it. So on that larger handout that you have, there's a breakout by fund
Oh, sure. Okay.
with both the investment amount and the estimated interest earnings for the year.
Thank you.
Are we going to use ARPA fund specifically for just the Provident Life building?
No, I doubt that. There's rules about what we can use it for. However, at the previous commission, we allocated that amount to go towards the remodel of the Provident building, but now that we're basically shifting course on that, I think that opens up some other possibilities. But it still has to be spent according to the rules of that program.
Yes,
So we have to spend the 7 million.
I think the 7 million technically will have to be spent by a certain time.
What is that timeline? That's
That would
kind
be
of what I'm
I was just going to ask Justin that question because initially we received about 18 million in ARPA funds. We've spent how much and how much is left?
We've received 18.5 million total ARPA funds. The guidelines are they have to be obligated by December 31st of 2024 and expended by December 31st of 2026. And to Commissioner Bittner's point, we allocated $7 million of the ARPA funds to the Provident building. Of the 18.5, 10 million of it can be used for funding government, to the commission's choice. The other 8.5 has to be used for specific guidelines that the Treasury listed: broadband, water, sewer, public health emergencies. So some of it has been allocated to those per the previous board's decisions. And I think the question at this point is, of the $7 million currently allocated to the Provident remodel, how much do we continue to allocate to that, or does some of it get reallocated somewhere? And I think I touched on that a little bit later in the budget priorities, maybe giving some options there, but that would be a decision that the board will need to make, is if that whole 7 million stays there or if we reallocate some of it.
Madam Chairman,
Yes.
I think we got by consensus, we're not going to do that big project. I don't know whether we ever voted on that or whether we need to or not, but as far as I'm concerned, we're not going to use any of that ARPA funds for Provident Life building. If we decide to remodel it ourselves, we do have that special fund that is already there with 1.5 million in it that is dedicated to remodeling or repairs of the Provident Life building. And we can use that, or we can do something else if we don't. Go ahead. You understand what I'm?
Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying, but in terms of remodeling on that building, 1.5 million would probably not be enough in the long run.
Could be.
So I wouldn't look to deplete the availability of some of the ARPA funds at this point, because we kind of have to get some quotes and get some prices on what would a sprinkler system cost, what would the pipe replacement cost, what would the equipment and the windows cost separately and stuff. So if we're going to do those things, then we'd have a better idea on that. But I do agree that the money that is there, it's appropriate to use it for that, but I would want to reserve some of that ARPA fund for that, so we have a little bit more buffer.
Would it be correct to say that the Provident Life building, being that if we got our offices moved in there and